Um, Welcome back, football fans. Big Al here on this Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. And right now, we're about to go into the current college football rankings from the Associated Press and from the coaches' polls. Plus, we'll take a look at the Championship Saturday television schedule for all the conference championship games coming up this weekend. So that being said, let's jump in to the AP Top 25 poll. Entering championship Saturday, December the 3rd. And we'll start from top to bottom as always. At number 1, and still number 1, the Georgia Bulldogs. 12-0 with 1,570 points and 58 first place votes. They, of course, won their regular season finale against Georgia Tech 37-14 and will face LSU in the SEC championship game. Up 1-2 is the Michigan Wolverines. 12-0, 1,516 points. Of course, they defeated then number 2 All State 45-23 as the Wolverines post back-to-back wins against the Buckeyes for the first time in 22 years, which is also the last time that Michigan beat Ohio State in Columbus before Saturday. And with that win, the Wolverines advance to the Big Ten Championship, where they'll meet the Purdue Boilermakers. Also moving up one spot to number 3, the TCU Horned Frogs. 12-0 record, 1,449 points. They dominated Iowa State, winning 62-14. They're in the Big 12 title game, where they'll face Kansas State, and I'll tell you where the Wildcats landed in the rankings in just a bit. Also moving up a spot to number 4 is the USC Trojans. 11-1, 1,382 points. They beat Notre Dame 38-27 in their regular season finale. And this week they will face Utah in the Pac-12 championship game. Falling 3 spots to number 5 is Ohio State. The Buckeyes are 11-1, 1,313 points. Of course, losing at home to Michigan 45-23. Up 2 spots to number 6 are the Alabamans and Tide. 10-2, 1,243 points. They defeated Auburn in Iron Bowl 49-27. Up 2 spots to number 7, another SEC team, the Tennessee Volunteers. 10-2, 1,195. Of course, they shut out their in-state rivals, Vanderbilt, on the road, 56-0. Moving up 3 spots to number 8, the Penn State Nittany Lions. 10-2 and 1,131 points. They beat up Michigan State 35-16. Number 9, up 3 spots from last week, are the Washington Huskies. 10-2, 1,048 points. They, of course, defeated Washington State in the Apple Cup 51-33. Down 3 spots to number 10, the Clemson Tigers. 10-2, 928 points. They lost at home to South Carolina 31-30, thus ending the Tigers' 40-game home win streak. But the news not all bad for Clemson. They're in the ACC title game against North Carolina. More on where the Tar Heels landed in just a moment. Dropping 5 spots to number 11, the LSU Tigers. 9-3, 874 points, losing at Texas A&M on Saturday, 38-23. Now they get number 1 Georgia in the SEC championship. Up 2 spots to number 12, the Utah Utes. 9-3, 849 points. They won 63-21 at Colorado, and they will face USC for the Pac-12 championship. Up 2 spots to number 13, the Kansas State Wildcats. 9-3, 815 points. They defeated their Sunflower State rivals, the Kansas Jayhawks, 47-27, and they will meet TCU in the Big 12 title game. Jumping 2 spots, number 14, the Florida State Seminoles. 9-3, 730 points. They defeated Florida 45-38. Falling 5 spots to number 15, the Oregon Ducks. 9-3, 701 points. They, of course, lost to Oregon State 38-34. And what do you know? The Oregon State Beavers are a spot behind the Ducks at number 16 after jumping 6 spots, and that's the biggest rise in the AP poll this week after the 38-34 win at home against Oregon. Holding steady at number 17, the UCLA Bruins. 9-3, 618 points. They won 35-28 at California. And now they're waiting to see which bowl game they'll play in. The Tulane Green Wave up 1 spot to number 18, 10-2, 551 points. They defeated Cincinnati 27-24 and will face UCF in the American Athletic Conference Championship. More on where UCF ended up in just a bit. Tied for the biggest drop in the AP poll this week is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, down 6 spots to number 19. 8-4 and 384 points. They, of course, lost to USC in Los Angeles 38-27. New in the AP poll at number 20, the South Carolina Gamecocks, 8-4, 358 points. They, of course, had that upset win at Clemson 31-30. Up 3 spots to number 21, the Texas Longhorns with an 8-4 record and 316 points. They, of course, beat Baylor 38-27. Up 3 spots to number 22, the aforementioned UCF Golden Knights, 9-3, 170 points, beating South Florida 46-39. They'll face Tulane in the American Athletic Conference title game coming up here this weekend. AP poll at number 23, the UTSA Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio, 10-2, 145 points. They, of course, beat Texas El Paso, or UTEP, 34-31 in a thriller. And we'll have a rematch with North Texas in the Conference USA Championship game. The other team with the biggest drop this week is the North Carolina Tar Heels, falling 6 spots to number 24. 9-3, 114 points, losing to NC State at home 30-27. They will get Clemson in the ACC title game. And new in the AP poll at number 25, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. 8-4, 99 points. They defeated then number 20 Ole Miss 24-22, and that's the end of their regular season. Dropping from the rankings are Ole Miss, previously at number 20. They're getting 22 points or 22 votes. The Cincinnati Bearcats, previously at number 21, they're getting 43 votes. And the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, previously at number 23, now getting 6 votes. The other teams in the others receiving votes category include Troy with 80, NC State 62, Boise State 39, Purdue 24, South Alabama 12, Illinois 10, Pittsburgh 5, Florida State, or rather Fresno State 4, James Madison 4, Ohio University 2, and Minnesota with 1 vote. All right, now we're going to jump over to the USA Today AFCA Coaches Poll. Entering championship Saturday, December 3rd. Now, two of the championship games, the Conference USA and Pac-12 title games, are being played on Friday. The other two are being played Saturday. All right, so this is the coaches poll going into championship Saturday. Number 1 is Georgia, 12-0, 1,572 points, 60 first place votes. Number 2 is Michigan, 12-0, 1,512 points, and 3 first place votes. And they're up 1 spot from last week, as is the TCU Horned Frogs, up 1 to number 3, 12-0 spot, or 12-0 record, 1,446 points. The USC Trojans also up 1 spot to number 4, 11-1, 1,381 points. Ohio State, much like in the AP, they fell 3 spots to number 5, 11-1 record, 1,312 points, and there's a jet flying over my house. Up 1 spot to number 6, the Alabama Crimson Tide, 10-2, 1,262 points. Number 7, the Penn State Nittany Lions, up 3 spots from last week, 10-2, 1,153 points. Number 8, also up 3 spots, the Tennessee Volunteers, 10-2, 1,143 points. The Washington Huskies, also up 3 spots to number 9, 10-2, 1,039 points. 1,000 doesn't sound all that good, does it? Number 10, also moving up 3 spots, the Kansas State Wildcats, 9-3, 930 points. Dropping 3 spots to number 11, the Clemson Tigers, 10-2, and an even 900 points. Up 2 spots to 12, the Utah Utes, 9-3, 872 points. Biggest drop in the coaches poll belongs to the LSU Tigers, falling 7 spots out of the top 10 and crash landing at number 13, 9-3, 845 points. Up 2 spots to number 14 are the Florida State Seminoles, 9-3, 739 points. The Oregon Ducks fell 6 spots to number 15 at 9-3 and 681 points, while the team they lost to, the Oregon State Beavers, jumped 6 spots to number 16, 9-3 and 613 points. Up 1 to number 17, the UCLA Bruins, 9-3, 603 points. Up 2 spots to number 18, the Tulane Green Wave, at 10-2 and 558 points. Dropping 4 spots to number 19, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 8-4, 340 points. New at number 20, the South Carolina Gamecocks, 8-4, 299 points. Up 3 spots to 21 is the Texas Longhorns, 8-4, 292 points. Down 5 spots to 22, the North Carolina Tar Heels, 9-3, 175 points. New at number 23, the UCF Golden Knights, 9-3, 141 points. Up a spot to number 24, the UTSA Roadrunners, 10-2, 127 points. And new at number 25, the Mississippi State Bulldogs, 8-4 and 88 points. Dropping from the rankings are Ole Miss, previously at number 18. They're in the others receiving votes category with 83 points. Cincinnati Bearcats, previously at number 21, they're getting 49 points. And the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, previously at number 23, they're now getting 26 points. The remaining teams in the others receiving votes category include Troy and NC State, both with 58, Boise State with 37, Purdue and Pittsburgh with 36 each, Air Force 19, South Alabama 15, Illinois 10, Duke 7, Minnesota 7, Iowa 6, Fresno State 2, James Madison 2, and Wake Forest 1. All right, so those are the national rankings at this time. in both the Associated Press Top 25 and the AFCA Coaches Poll. Now, we're about to take a look at the television schedule for this championship Saturday across college football. And again, 2 championship games will be played on Friday, while the remaining games are on Saturday. So we go with the championship Saturday television schedule and the announcers for each game. We start out on Friday, December 2nd, with the Conference USA Championship. North Texas at UTSA. This is down in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. Friday night at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on CBS Sports Network. The announcers are Rich Waltz and Aaron Taylor. 30 minutes after that is the Pac-12 championship game from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's Utah versus USC at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Fox with Jason Benetti and Brock Heward. And that brings us to Saturday and the other 8 conference title games. The day starts at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on ABC with the Big 12 championship game, which is being played in Dallas, with the Kansas State Wildcats and the TCU Horned Frogs, with Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. Matt Alderton's on with me. Go Blue indeed. All right, at that same time on ESPN, you have the Mid-American Conference Championship, which is being played at Ford Field in Detroit. That's Ohio versus Toledo, the Ohio Bobcats and the Toledo Rockets. The announcers are Beth Mowens and Kirk Morrison. At 30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on ESPN, you've got the Sun Belt Championship game. Coastal Carolina at Troy. Dave Fleming and Rod Gilmore. At 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on CBS, the SEC Championship game from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. LSU versus Georgia. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. Also at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on ABC, it's the American Athletic Conference Championship, UCF at Tulane. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, and Tom Luginbill. And on Fox at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, the Mountain West Conference Championship, Fresno State at Boise State. Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman. And then the last 2 games of the night will both begin at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. On ABC is the ACC Championship game from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. North Carolina versus Clemson. Sean McDonough and Todd Blackledge. And then finally, you've got the Big Ten Championship game from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Purdue versus Michigan. Go Blue, baby. And that's going to be on Fox with Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. And that is a look at the national rankings from the AP and coaches polls, plus the television schedule and announcers for championship weekend in college football. Okay, it's just about 4 o'clock locally here in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm going to take a little bit of a breather, and I'll be back on in about 45 minutes or so as we will announce the latest college football playoff rankings entering championship weekend across college football. So that's coming up here in about 45 minutes. They will make the announcements just after 7 p.m. Eastern time. So again, join me for that. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.